this year. So still the National Sports Festival will hold. And for those of you who have been missing Edo Queens, well, your darling girls are back tomorrow in the Nigerian Women's Football League. They will be playing against Nasarawa Amazons at the Samuel Gwemudia Stadium. The Nigerian National League will also be returning in a couple of days on the 13th of February. It is going to start, but Bendel Insurance are drawn by in the first round. So very soon you will see your Bendel Insurance are playing at the Samuel Gwemudia Stadium and also going away trying to achieve greatness for the state. In Formula One, bosses, they are planning to discuss a new proposal to introduce shorter sprint races in an attempt to increase entertainment levels this season. So will that be taking the place of qualifying? We'll wait and see. And one of the most anticipated events in Formula One has happened with Lewis Hamilton signing to stay at Mercedes. I said, look, this was a no-brainer. Where would he go? Is it McLaren? Is it Formula One? Is it Ferrari? Come on. Is it Red Bull? Clearly, Mercedes is the best constructor out there, and Lewis Hamilton is the best driver at the moment, possibly the best and the greatest in history. He has equaled the number of titles that were won by the great Michael Schumacher, and it doesn't look like he's going to slow down anytime soon. So he might, at the end of his career, be the driver with the most championship. He already has the most wins, so he has even surpassed Michael Schumacher there. So you could even use that to argue that Lewis Hamilton is the greatest driver in Formula One history. Good evening, welcome to Sports Fiesta. It's live on 92.7 KUFM Benin City. My name is Sali Ibrahim. They call me the Sports Abracadabra. The Sports Maestro is also here. All right, let's begin from this one. Edo Queens, we know they are getting set for the resumption of the Nigerian Women Football League. So their media officer sent us this report that they are ready to take on Nasarawa Amazons, and they expect that the team is going to be really good and aggressive at the Samuel Gwemudia Stadium. That Coach Rolandson Ode, he believes that the girls, they will be fired up to continue their unbeaten run in the NWFL Premiership. They've played 4 matches, won 2 and drawn 2. So they are riding high in the league. A win for Edo Queens in this encounter will see the team move up the log. And Rolandson Ode said this is a game we have all been waiting for. It is the game of our life. Nasarawa Amazons is not a pushover. They are coming to Edo State with full force to fight. We must not give them time to carry out their antics. We are approaching every game with he said that they've got to, they as coaches, Rolandson Ode speaking, that they've got to do the needful as coaches to ensure that the team is victorious. And he said, yeah, there are many points to play for, but from his experience on the job, that no team is a pushover in the game of football. So they will fight hard, they will respect Nasarawa Amazons, but they will go for victory.
Well, they should be on points, and they should play with cohesion. Fight for every ball as if you are playing the final. At the end of the day, you see that the opponents, you could run them down, and at the end of the day, you take advantage of the chances that you create and just punish them. So it's easier said than done, but I know that our guys are going to remain unbeaten, and I know that all they need to do after the draw that they had before the suspension, that they have to go for the victory. So it's victory or nothing, and it's win or bust against Nasarawa Amazons.
Okay. Let's go to Formula One now. We hear that the bosses there, they are to discuss a new proposal which is going to help introduce shorter sprint races in an attempt to increase entertainment levels this season, and it's going to replace qualifying. So the teams and the bosses, they will vote on Thursday on a plan for a shorter race on Saturday, which will define the grid for Sunday's Grand Prix. Qualifying for the Saturday race will take place on Friday. So there is actually going to be a qualifying, but normally you have sometimes 2 practices, sometimes 3. Practice 1, practice 2 mostly. Then you now have qualifying. So it is your qualifying time that determines where you start on the grid. So if you set the fastest lap in qualifying from your runs, then you would be P1, that's you will be on pole. Then if you set the second fastest, you'll be P2, that's the second position on the grid, and that's how it goes until all the 20 drivers have taken their spot. So what they are planning to do now is to have a qualifying race on Friday. Normally qualifying takes place on Saturday. So the sprint race, which is going to now act as qualifying, is going to be 100 kilometers, which is going to be a third of the length of a Grand Prix, and it will replace the qualifying which normally takes place on Saturday. This is what they are going to discuss on Thursday. They have not agreed on it, and they've not said, okay, this is exactly what we are going to do. They are just trying to get people get excited, because what usually happens in qualifying is that you go alone. One driver goes around the track, so it is the time that you set that they will now use to score you. But this time now, it's going to be like a mini race. All the drivers competing. Then the top eight from what they say, the top 8 drivers in the sprints, they will earn approximately half the points awarded for the Grand Prix.
Well, it's a nice plan, but maybe some drivers could also see it as something that is not really positive or not needed at the moment. And to get for that vote to be passed, I think total of 28 out of 30 votes, and the governing body and the FAI and also other commercial rights holder, and from now have 10 each. So let's wait for that vote and see how they are going to accept, if they will accept it, or if some will say no, we are against it. Just like when you have some plans, in other sports, sometimes people will say go against it, while some will say okay, we accept it. But then I think it's good to reduce the kind of stress that you have when it comes to Saturday's qualifying, and that's the reason why they are trying to see how. But
they will still basically do the same thing, because before, as we said, they have practice 1, practice 2. In some events, they have practice 3. Then they now have qualifying, and then the main race. What they are planning to do now, they will still have the practice 1. This qualifying for the sprints will now replace practice 2. Then they now still have the sprints, which will
serve as
sort of. They are not going to call it qualifying again, because they say practice 2 will now replace qualifying. So for it to be passed, for it to become accepted, it needs 28 out of 30 votes. Governing body FIA and the commercial rights holder Formula 1, they have 10 each. 10 votes, yes. So then the 10 teams, they have 1 apiece. 10 teams, but 2 drivers. So that's why you have 20 drivers in Formula 1, but there are 10 teams. So that makes 30. And out of this, you must get 28 votes for it to be passed. We don't know, it might be 30 over 30. It could be less than that. It could be 28.
But for it to go through 28, that's much. But then I hope that's when all the drivers, agreed. Everyone agreed. Maybe like 3 or 4 are against it. That means you have 26 over 30, which means it will not be passed. But all the same, they are trying to bring out propose a plan that will also replaces the practice 2. But it all depends on the drivers. Yes, how they are going to look at it. Is this something that we can go into? Because it's a plan, not it hasn't been passed. But I think it's good that sometimes you come up with different plans in different sports, so that if it's something they look at and feel okay, yes, it is good, then they can use it to replace. But all the same, I think we should just wait for when the votes, when they are going to vote, and see how they are going to their reaction, how they are going to react to it. So it's a good plan though, but those that are the main actors will decide if the plan will go or not.
There have been different attempts to restructure how Formula 1 is done, and they complain that not many people watch the practice sessions, because as we said, it's just one person going around the tracks, and they time him. So it is the time that he is able to reach that will determine where he starts on the grid. So they on this one where you are going to have a short race, it's going to make people want to watch it. They just want to make more money from all of this thing. But we'll have to wait and see how it would work. Mercedes had previously rejected some of their attempts, including the reverse grid system, but now they seem open to this idea. So let us see what this will turn out to be. They say that 3 races have been chosen as potential venues for a trial this year on the basis that they should provide fast and exciting racing: Canada, Italy, and Brazil. And that if it is successful, the idea will be more widely used in 2022. So Formula One, they hope that this is going to generate more interest. However, one sticking point is that, according to sources, Formula One is proposing only an extra $75,000 per team per practice to cover the new approach. So this is nowhere near enough to cover the cost of any damage to cars in the shorter race. A front wing alone can cost as much as $200,000. So that's a Formula One car that you see.
Just to
it's very, very expensive.
That's huge, honestly. And maybe that's the area where they are going to look at it and say, okay, we are not going to adopt this plan because of the amount that they budgeted, $75,000, and looking at what front wing will cost. And sometimes you get some cars, could damage during
because if you are having a shorter sprint, it's going to be the same thing. The melee and everything. So there are risk of damage. But when you are practicing, it's only accidents usually happen when the driver makes a mistake. Sometimes you are having your run, you are alone, and you just skid off the track and you crash. Yes, it happens, but at least you are not colliding with anybody because you are basically alone on the track. Anyway, still on Formula One, world champion Lewis Hamilton, the GOAT of Formula One, according to many people, he has signed a contract extension with Formula One. So if with a Mercedes, so it's going to be with
do great stuff with them. Yes, definitely, he's an amazing driver, no doubt about that. The best in the world right now, but it all depends on
results of some of the matches that were played earlier today. Soribes Tormo was in action against Daria Gavrilova. This is in the women's single, and it was Daria Gavrilova who beat Sarah Soribes Tormo 6-1, 7-5. Kaja Juvan of Slovenia beat Joanna Konta of Great Britain 4-6, and she was trailing. Sorry, Joanna Konta won. Joanna Konta was leading. Joanna Konta retired. She was actually leading at one point. She was won the first set 6-4, but she was trailing in the second set 2-love, and then she was forced to retire, and that will have been really devastating for the English woman. Olga Daniel 6-4. Then Ashley Batty was in brilliant form. This was a double bogey for Danka Kovinic. Yeah, Ashley Batty won in this one in double bagel, 6-love, 6-love.
Yeah, we had an Egyptian who made
historic. It was historic for her.
Yeah, for
the first Australian Egyptian to win in the main draw.
That was really, really something that we have to celebrate. We hope that she goes on to do.
Her name is Maya Sheriff. She beat Chloe Paki 7-5, 7. The police barracks. You have to go to specific places to get this. Take golf courses, for instance. You've got to go to GRA. You've got to go to elitist places before you can get this thing. And if you want to really get into golf, to buy a golf club,
really expensive.
Before you start thinking of the golf cart, and so you've got to be in a particular strata in the society before you can say comfortably you can get your children to play golf. So it's not as easily accessible for everybody like football. Football is basically football, athletics. Okay, you just run and so you can develop your talent. But even basketball is not that.
You need to go to the basketball.
You need to, and most times the places that you get basketball courts would be maybe military settlements. Yeah, and look, I think we've got to do more. To encourage the military and the police, in terms of or the paramilitary generally, in terms of helping to develop sports. I recall when we were living at Ikeja Cantonment, the first time I saw Olumide Oyedeji one-on-one was at the military cantonment basketball court in Ikeja. They used to come there. Many of the stars of basketball, because that was one place that had a basketball court, so they used to always come every Saturday morning. They are there, and sometimes in the evenings too. You go there and you get them. In military settlements, you usually have there will be a basketball court, there will be a volleyball court, there will be tennis court, basic everything about sports. They usually have them in the barrack. So I think if we can, encourage. When the boxer was with us here a couple of months ago, he told us that he was training at, that's where he go. Was it 4 Brigade that he mentioned?
It could be Airport Road.
I can't recall the barracks. I think he said I think it was on 4 Brigade that he said he usually trains at Alex, the boxer that was here with us some weeks ago. But he even sent me a message that arrangements are still going on, but that's for the Global Boxing Federation World Title match that they want to still have it, but there are some certain things going on, and so maybe we could have that bout in April. That's what he told us.
Well, I think it's something good if we youngsters who could make it big in the world of tennis. Sylvester Emmanuel is one. He's age 22, and he has a career high ATP singles ranking of 1,097. Yes, achieved on the 12th of September. That was 2016, 5 years ago. So I think this guy
is how old?
22.
At his age, Rafael Nadal was already winning Grand Slam. At his age, Roger Federer has already won. You know, so we used to have Sule Ladipo. There used to be Clara Odofian. Some other people who did, got to a particular level. But if we are able to encourage them more, like this Egyptian Maya Sherif, there is some Ozjeba of Tunisia. Why do we have the North Africans excelling in tennis? Why do we have what's this guy's to be South African, Kevin Anderson, who has even got to the final of Wimbledon, and we are not having Nigerians even qualifying for the main draw at the Grand Slam. So it's something that we've got to really look at. We hope that the Ube Hardcourt will soon start producing great tennis players, because we know we've got the talent. I recall growing up in Lagos, we used to just play on the streets, play anywhere. You just so long as the surface is flat, but it was basically clay, what we call clay, because it was on sand. So long as the surface is flat enough, you just rule your lines. That's what we do. Just rule the lines, and then you start playing. Our bats were made of wood. Wow. Any wooden thing, you just cut them into the shape of a tennis bat, and we had the tennis ball. I recall we used to have this guy was adjacent the PZ. Yeah, it's you will think if you're coming from afar, you even take a major road. So he used to bring tennis balls. Of course, the white guys are always there at PZ, so they have tennis courts inside. So he usually brought tennis balls for us, and you have kids playing it. But nobody, we didn't have people coming from the sports council to try and develop the sport. And look, it's something that if we do, I'm sure we will be able to play in at Wimbledon, at the Australian Open, at the French Open, at the US Open.
Yeah, I think this is one sport where I really like what Sonidari is doing. Adopt an athlete. If somebody can adopt some of those guys who are really trying to make it big in Nigeria, I just mentioned one, Emmanuel, and we also have a sister who is 17 years right now, Barakat Oyilomo, and she is currently the highest ranked Nigerian in the WTA women's single category. So if players like this can be adopted and polished, to compete, with other big stars in major, maybe WTA tournaments or ATPs and all that, who knows? These guys could go on to become something big. I know it's not easy for you to sponsor an athlete, and ensure that athlete becomes a superstar. It's not you are going to pump so much money, but at the end of the day, you are also going to reap it, because by the time that athletes you are polishing, you are really trying to make to try to convert to become a superstar. By the time the player, he or she gets to hit, the world map, I think you too, you benefit from it, because at the end of the day, you that sponsor somebody to become successful, yes, you could be the person's representative. Yes, if it's a footballer, you could be among the team, and if it's a tennis player, you could still go on to represent that player one way or the other. But that's something we need to look at, honestly. Tennis, not just table. We know that, yes, when it comes to table, we have good players. Even the Egyptians, they are really good when it comes to table. What's his name now? Omar or something like that has been really good. Even when he faces our own Aruna Quadri, we've seen fantastic table tennis and all that. So if we can produce the likes of Funke Ashonaike and Aruna Quadri, apart from Nduka Odizo and others, I think it's our time we look at tennis.
And we've got not exactly a Nigerian, but he's got a Nigerian heritage. He represents the United States of America. He's Michael Moore. His father, Tony Moore, represented Nigeria at the Olympic Games. So he too used to be a tennis player. He won his match against Victor Troicki in the first round. He beat him 7-6, 6-7, 3-6, 7-6, 7-5. And his prize is that he will play Rafael Nadal in the second round. Yeah, so there may not be anybody representing Nigeria, but at least we've got someone of Nigerian heritage who is there.
Is also there. She plays in the women's singles.
Yeah, so we've got the innate ability. Such should be done if we really want to produce greats in this sport. I know, the way they are doing it now, no problem. It's good. Try and get them into the system, adopt an athlete and everything. But look, you need to take it to the schools. The way we play football everywhere, the way they are talking of Principal's Cup, let them have a competition for secondary schools and ensure that the AI community schools should have tennis courts, so that we have children. You'll be surprised that it is one small boy that will come out of NI community or from Warake that will go on to become the next Roger Federer or the next Rafael Nadal. So we need to make this thing. We need to take it to them in the grassroots so that they will be able to play. So let the government provide the rackets. Let the government provide the different courts for them, so that you don't have everybody just going to football, everybody going to athletics and all of that. Let us look at these other sports, and I believe that Nigeria will excel. Okay, we promised in the morning that we're going to quickly rush through this, but time is never your friend when you talk sports on radio. So let's just quickly go to basketball. Yeah, let's begin from this game. Houston Rockets taking on Charlotte Hornets, and it was Victor Oladipo, somebody who is also from Nigeria, in Rockets, while LaMelo Ball got 24 points, 7 rebounds, and 10 assists for Charlotte Hornets as they beat Houston Rockets 119 points to 94. Washington Wizards took on Chicago Bulls. The Wizards did their magic. They won 105 points to 101. And for the Wizards, it was Bradley Beal, who got 35 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists, while Zach LaVine scored 35 points, 2 rebounds, and 6 assists for the Bulls. The Toronto Raptors were in action against Memphis Grizzlies. The Raptors won this encounter 128 points to 113. Fred VanVleet scored 32 points, 3 rebounds, and 9 assists for Toronto Raptors, while Jonas Valanciunas got 27 points, 20 rebounds, and 3 assists for Memphis Grizzlies. Minnesota Timberwolves took on Dallas Mavericks. The Mavericks won this 127 points to 122. Malik Beasley got 30 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists for Minnesota Timberwolves, while Kristaps Porzingis from Dallas Mavericks scored 27 points, 30 rebounds, and for San Antonio Spurs won this encounter 105 points to 100, while Steph Curry got 32 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists for the Golden State Warriors, while the John Temore scored 27 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists. Cleveland Cavaliers battled Phoenix Suns. The Suns, they shone brightly as they won 119 points to 103. Colin Sexton of Cleveland Cavaliers scored 23 points, 2 rebounds, and 5 assists, while for Phoenix, their best performer was Devin Booker, got 36.5 rebound and 8 assists. They won against Denver Nuggets. So for the Milwaukee Bucks, it was
the Great Freak.
No, it wasn't the one that was the best performer here. It was Chris Middleton, got 29 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists, while 12 assists, while Nikola Jokic of Denver Nuggets scored 35 points, got 12 rebounds, and 6 assists. And Oklahoma City Thunder took on Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers won 119 points to 112. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of Oklahoma City Thunder got 29 points, 7 rebounds, and 10 assists, while LeBron James seems to be the main man every time. This was a triple-double for him: 28 points, 14 rebounds, and 12 assists. The matches for today: Brooklyn Nets taking on Detroit Pistons, New York Knicks versus Miami Heat, Houston Rockets will battle New Orleans Pelicans, Golden State Warriors versus San Antonio Spurs, Boston Celtics will take on Utah Jazz, Orlando Magic versus Portland Trail Blazers, and Philadelphia 76ers versus Sacramento Kings. Okay, guys, before we give you throw the phone lines open for you to call in, let's just please, for those who love wrestling, I'm just going to go to the results. I will not give you all the details. Okay, so these are some of the matches that we had. AJ Styles was in action against Jeff Hardy, and AJ Styles won this match via a submission. The Retribution took on the New Day. The New Day won this encounter via pinfall. Charlotte Flair battled Lacey Evans. It was Charlotte Flair that won this via a disqualification. Asuka for the WWE Women's Championship at the Elimination Chamber. Then we had Damian Priest. He took on Angel Garza, and Damian Priest won this encounter via P4. As I said, there are so many stories behind the scenes, but we do not have time to give you all of that. Keith Lee, the Eliminators won. He took on Matt Riddle, and it was the Keith Lee who won this encounter. Keith Lee, and it was now announced that at the Elimination Chamber United States Championship, and it's going to be Keith Lee versus Riddle versus Bobby Lashley. And we also had Nia Jax in action against Lana, and this was a tables match, so the only way you win is to put your opponent through the table. Somehow it was Lana who won this encounter, and immediately afterwards Naomi, who accompanied Lana to the ring, had a match with Shayna Baszler, who accompanied Nia Jax to the ring, and Naomi defeated Shayna Baszler. And finally we had Drew McIntyre taking on Randy Orton. Randy Orton won this encounter via disqualification, but then it was because Sheamus came to the ring and attacked Randy Orton. He did it deliberately to disqualify Drew McIntyre, and after this match Drew McIntyre then hit Sheamus with a Claymore kick to stand tall. I guess that's what happened on Monday Night Raw last night. So you can start calling us now, 070-626-39275 or 090-3939-4427. You can also reach us on 081-2178-9154 and send us an SMS on 080-7400-9076. Hello.
Brian, good evening.
Danjuma, welcome.
Brian, good evening.
Good evening, Danjuma.
I mean, analyze to play tennis is very expensive and golf. That makes your player know this.
I know they fit.
Like, we very easy. So, for the Edo State Youth National Festival, they don't be postponed again. We expect this weekend, I don't go because it's people postponed. If the matter is, the people will get ahead again because of the coronavirus and they can afford. Maybe they cancel and maybe like 2 years to this time, they will call organizers. It's all they don't be postponed. Now, if they don't postpone. If they want cancel in order if they cancel so that subsequent years they will organize another one.
All right.
I just think that will be the best. I do it.
All right, thank you. Zero 070-6263-9075 090-3939-4427 081-2178-9154 and for the SMS is 080-7400-9076. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is David Kinsley from Benin.
All right, welcome, David Kinsley.
Yeah. I'm a Chelsea fan. So I want to know the position Chelsea is in Premier League table and their next match.
You want to know the position Chelsea is on the table?
Yes.
They are fifth.
Okay, fifth. Okay, so sir, what about our next match?
The next match is against Barnsley in the FA Cup. Then after that, it's going to be against Newcastle United in the Premier League.
Okay. Thank you. God bless.
All right. Hello.
Yeah, my children.
Yeah, Pastor welcome.
I'm able to join you guys today. I was on the traffic.
Okay, sure.
So I love your analysis. If you're wrong, I don't have the opportunity to watch, but I believe they may bring it back this night. So yeah, they will bring it back this night. That Lana, he was married to Lashley.
Yeah, she's married to him. Lashley has even left the WWE. He's gone to AEW, but they are still married in real life. Yeah.
Okay, they are still married in life.
Yeah,
okay,
she got married to Bobby. No, sorry, she was married to Rusev. Then she claimed she divorced Rusev and got married to Bobby Lashley. But she has also left Bobby Lashley now. But in real life, she's still married to Rusev.
So okay, they are not going. Yes, they are not going to court yet because she has come back fully to wrestling now. You know these two ladies, they're always attacking Lana, hitting her on the table and all the rest.
Yeah.
But several times he won that woman twice now. I used to pity for her. I don't really know why I only pity for her. I just felt he wasn't wrestling. But now I think he's feeling more now. Thank you so much. What of McIntyre and this is the bed is with McIntyre?
Yeah, still with Drew McIntyre.
Thank God. Thank you so much. The sport activity has been postponed again to April.
Yes.
This is the time that the federal government should respond to the governor's comment that there's no fun. I will host, but I don't have fun. So they have opportunity now to make fund available to the state governor, to the people to now who's above all the COVID thing. That should be one of those reasons inside that thing that they are postponing. They make a whole election, carry crowd all over the place. What is the response to the whole world are holding for all of up and down? Let me allow you do your work. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Hello.
Hello, guys. Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome.
Madrid don't come.
Sorry, Madrid don't come.
Yeah, yes, Madrid they win.
It's been a while. Welcome.
You're welcome. Guys, I usually don't pick my calls.
Sorry. It's not deliberate. It's not deliberate.
I know it's not deliberate, but it's just the situation. For those thinking that Pep Guardiola has won the league, you have to think twice because the English Premier League It's a serious league.
Yeah,
it's not a league that you can say 1 + 1 is 2. It doesn't work in England. And they should also be careful of a certain game pressing master. Let them have the mind that we are sitting on top of the league. The man is just coming and it has ended like that.
Does he have enough time and enough matches to?
Have we played up to 25 matches?
No, it's Chelsea have already played 23. Manchester City have played 22.
From 23 to 38 is a long way to go, if you ask me.
Okay. Well.
So let's see. It's going to be this season. The winner of the EPA is going to come very surprising to a lot of persons. It's going to be very competitive. Even Liverpool is not out of the race. The fact that probably they are having issues with their defense and all that, they are not out of the race. So the Guardiola should not sit pretty comfortable. Then for these best players in the last decade, Lionel Messi became the number 1. I don't know. I don't actually know the criteria how he became number 1. Do you know
the body that gave him that award? You know the body? That's the International Federation of Football History and Statistics. Yes, so they've checked their stats and everything, and that's why they say.
We know they are. Yes, they have their statistics.
Well, they are not infallible because I questioned their pick for the second best in Africa for the women. They gave it to what's her name, Gabriel Ngaska from Cameroon. If they really wanted to give to Cameroonians, I believe there are other better Cameroonian women player. Gail Egenamot is one of them. Then there is another Gabriel Ungene, I think it's her name. She plays from the wings, so I think she's even much better than the Ngaska.
I don't think that list is complete without a Didier Drogba. I don't think that list is wrong. I don't know why
Xavi is not even on that list.
And if you ask me, I don't know. The Hazard is not there. In the period under review, the Hazard was better than Neymar. And on the period under review, they need me to say this: Lionel Messi wasn't better than Cristiano Ronaldo. If
2011 to 2020, really?
Critically. Okay. If you want us to look at it critically,
okay, Madrid, don't come. I know you are
back to back.
I know you are.
Look at that.
You are.
I am not a pro Ronaldo fan. I am a pro good football fan.
Okay. But many pro good football fans will say Messi. No dispute about it. I don't have much complaints about it.
Anyway, that is their pick. Like I said, there are some players that are not there.
Okay, all right, Marie, don't come. Thank you. Let's pick another call. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Barcelona.
Yeah, it's Barcelona. Okay, good evening, sir.
Yeah, Barca, you're welcome.
It's only when it has come to Lionel Messi that they will question the criteria. It's okay. It has been given. No, you can't change it. For my good friend and Mr. Majid.com, I salute his courage. He's doing very well. And let me say to God, Brian, and nobody thinks Pep Guardiola should be comfortable that he has won the league. But which other club has the prospect to win the league? Which other club?
That's what I am looking at. I'm looking at. I really do not see any team stepping up to
thank you again, Brian. It's only Man City that has that prospect right now.
But I also acknowledge that this is the English Premier League. If maybe any other league, maybe you say it's over, but this is the English Premier League. However, and you know, for me, Manchester City have already gone through their bad patch. They don't have Sergio Kun Aguero right now. They don't have Kevin De Bruyne right now, and it's not a problem for them. You know, so that's.
No, I don't think they win it, but it's my own take. I will still say it authoritatively. Manchester City has the prospect to win this league.
Thank you. Let's look at the text messages now. Even Casillas should be in the list as well. Okay. And he went on to say, I don't see why Buffon, Neymar, and Lewandowski are in that list. What happens to Xavi, Wayne Rooney, and Suarez? Kido from Igboba Hill. Hello, IFSH. They know better than us. Good evening. Okay, this is not sports. Timo Werner, I think, is a very dull player. I am sure he won't have gotten to that ball if the goalkeeper had not fallen when he could have gone to the right, not from Siloko Road. I thought it was a curious choice. If there was no player, no defender, I will understand why he chose to go to the goalkeeper's left. But the easier thing would have been to go through his right, but he decided to go through the long route. So I don't understand that. Good evening, sports machines. How are you guys doing today? I am not happy over the postponement of the National Sports Festival. Please, the ministry should make sure that it's done in April as planned. Evangelist Nosa Osazoa. All right. Good evening, sirs. National Sports Festival postponed again. Why? Like play Edo 2020 go turn Edo 2022. But if it's a governorship or presidential campaign,